God's beat maker.
And I don't know. I will put a light in the sky for the G's that done turn memory from go. Blessings we send to the ghetto.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is the JR Wisdom channel. Once again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And if this is your first time checking out one of my videos, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button along with the bell. That way you receive all of the notifications for all of my future videos. With that being said, let's jump right into it. Had a young lady comment on one of my videos. I'm not gonna say the exact video, but for those of you who wanna search for it, go for it. She commented on one of my videos and basically runs down this entire essay about how this guy screwed her over and things like that. He's not who he was supposed to be or who she thought he should have been, even though she said there were red flags. So dude has no car, dude lives with his parents. She let him smash, now he dashed, and now she's a single mother. So I'm just gonna read her comment and give my commentary on it. And you guys let me know what you think here in the end. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. I believe I got pregnant by a narcissist. I'm 23 now with a 1-year-old child. In the beginning, he was very charming. Bought me expensive gifts, took me everywhere. But I always got this weird vibe about him, like, there's something off about him when it comes to him being overly nice and never wanting anything in return. He used to pop up at my job unannounced and bring me things here and there, or he would come and pick me up just to give me a ride home when he lived an hour away, which I thought was so strange. But look past it, unfortunately. That's weirdo stuff anyway. And for you fellas out there, never pop up to a woman's job unannounced, even if you guys are in a relationship. Don't do that stuff. You look creepy, you look like a weirdo. She's gonna think you're crazy, but obviously this young lady may have, I don't know. She seems like a younger girl, but we'll get into that. Fast forward 4 months into the relationship, he buys me an expensive ring and proposes to me. At the time, he didn't have a car, so he used to take buses, Ubers, whatever to come see me. Then one day I said, hey, you should try to get your permit license so that you can drive. And at the snap of a finger, in about a week or so, he had his permit. So my thing is, how is he getting the buns in the meanwhile? Is he just driving over to where you live? Are you just coming over to his parents' house and he's smashing there? How are you guys going on dates? Are you guys meeting up places, if anything? You know, how old are you? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just find it kind of weird that you are the one who's pushing him to go to get his permit. And I don't know if you have yours. It sounds like you might not have yours, but you're pushing him to get his permit since he doesn't have a car or anything. Just find it weird all around. At the time, he didn't have a car, so he used to take buses, Ubers, whatever to come see me. Then one day I said, hey, you should try to get your permit license so that you can drive. And at the snap of a finger, in about a week or so, he had his permit. Fast forward, I decided to leave my job and move into his house with his parents. When I first found out I was pregnant to attend college. Big mistake. A lot of women do this though. They move in, and it's, either your living situation isn't the best or you're living with your parents and you just want to get out and you're moving in with another guy and his parents, even though you aren't married, is another big thing. I know different cultures do different things. A lot of times, some cultures, as long as you're married, you oftentimes move in with the guy and his parents. Sometimes in some cultures, but anyway, it's a big red flag with this stuff going on. You guys aren't married and you're moving in with him at this time because you're pregnant and you're attending college. Big mistake. I lasted 3 weeks. He kicked me out all because I didn't pay him enough attention and wanted to visit my family on the weekends and here and there hang out with my friends. He hated when I was on the phone. He would constantly make his presence known when I was. So this guy is obviously controlling to the max. He figures that he has leverage at this point where you live in his house with his parents. So they're obviously going to take his side, even though you're pregnant. They're going to take his side, and whoever has the house, and the same thing why dudes should never move in with a woman. But this dude basically is like, it's not even his place, and he's kicking you up out of there, you know, because his parents are going to take his side. So you just have to keep that in mind. You guys aren't married, and it's not your house. So you got two things. If you were married, then, you know, he would have to go. But then again, if he's the breadwinner, who's going to pay for the place? You have to take him to court, and they make him pay for the apartment. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You should have had better guidance is what I'm getting at. And this is what I was saying. So he made his presence known whenever I was on the phone. You know, he wouldn't let you see your friend. He didn't even want you to hang around your family. He tries to cut all ties from you, your friends and family. That way he can control you the most. Not to say, so here's the thing. Not to say, this depends on the relationship. A man should let a woman do her. But at the same time, you should sit down and talk with your woman, especially if she has friends or family that aren't serving her. When I say serving her, they aren't in her best interest as far as her becoming the best that she can be, or if she has toxic family. The best you can do is advise your significant other, and if they don't want to listen to you and that's interfering with your relationship, then you just need to go on and move on at that point if communication is not working. He always tried to rush me into marrying him. And when I would say, hey, what's the rush? He would throw tantrums. Sound like a mama's boy. He would throw tantrums when he couldn't get his way or if I didn't agree with him. He eventually moved out of his parents' home and got his own apartment while I was pregnant and tried his hardest to convince me to move in. I stuck with my gut and said, hell no, you kicked me out woods. Who says you wouldn't do it if not worse? Do it again if not worse. Which is true. I guess your gut feeling kicked in that time though, right? He completely has checked out of our daughter's life and only sends money. And when he was in the picture, it was when he was dealing with me. A lot of dudes do this. If they're not getting the buns anymore, you're not showing them any affection, or maybe you've moved on. They're not getting anything out of you. They're not able to control you, so on and so forth. An immature guy like this who got his way, he's not going to want to have anything to do with his child. And not to say that women don't do the same thing. If they'll use the child as leverage as well. But this is her telling it. A lot of times dudes will check out, stop paying child support because they can't have access to the woman anymore, which is very childish. But who knows what you're doing? This is just what you're saying at the end of the day. When he was in the picture, it was when he was dealing with me. Oh, and I forgot to mention, his mom seems to have it out for me too. It got to the point where I was starting to feel like they both were trying to mentally torture me in a game of tag team. He would be off and on with me for months with zero explanation. And you allowed it. Just recently, I called to speak to him regarding him sending money for his daughter. And he deliberately had some female get on the phone. Then he has the nerve to text me Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, this dude is a beast. Yo, you putting other broads on the phone, they're gonna wish you happy birthday. This dude sound like he tormenting you, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I don't know what you're doing either. You're allowing, people do what you allow at the end of the day, whether that be man or woman. People do what you allow. So now his excuse is we just don't work. Some people were brought together to recreate like what the, I'm just reading this, how she has it written. Now his excuse is we just don't work. Some people were brought together to recreate. Maybe she meant to say procreate. Like, what the heck? How do you deal with this? I try to reach out regarding my daughter and he never responds. He even stopped sending money. I'm beyond hurt because I felt like I gave the relationship my all. Now I'm left to be a single mom. Another one bites the dust. Another sad story. Beloved, young lady, it sounds like you didn't have much guidance, and if you were being given guidance, it was the wrong guidance, or you just turned a deaf ear to it. A lot of the signs were there based off what you were saying. This guy doesn't have a car, has no means of transportation, doesn't have a place to stay. is inviting you to move in. You got pregnant by him, even though he had all of these signs, basically because he threw the charm on with the 30, 60, 90 day representative initially. And you fell for it, even though dude is a bum from what it seems like. This is just based off what you're saying, though, at the end of the day. So a lot of women will say this, you know, even though the signs are there, and you even said we were off and on repeatedly in this whole toxic relationship, toxic versus force. Was it toxic or was it force? Y'all check that video out by me as well. But ask yourself that. Who is it to blame? Are you taking responsibility? Because it doesn't sound like it. Kevin Samuels did a video, I think it was yesterday, where a lot of these women that he interviews and he talks to, they always say, the single moms he talks to, they'll always say, I came out of a toxic relationship. He was a narcissist. Da 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 da. We never got married. Blah 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 blah. It was this, it was that, blah blah blah. And just like Kevin Samuels said in the video, when you tell that to a dude, we already know what time it is. Unless you on ultra simp mode and you're just like, baby, how could a man do this to you? You're such a goddess. You're the best thing walking this earth. That man has no idea. You're such a princess. You would never do anything wrong. How could a man make you a single mother? I would have made you my wife in a minute. And the guy's always wrong. And women perpetuate these stories. There's women walking around here now and on social media that still say that men are the problem and they aren't the problem. And in the words of Kevin Samuels, you're just going to end up lonely after a while. Sleeping with these bums just to get that initial thing off, but still positioning yourself as if you're high value. Not to say that's the case with this young lady, but I just felt like you need to be more mindful, especially you younger ladies, of who you're dealing with. There were telltale signs here in the beginning, but you decided to go for it anyway, hoping that that frog was really Prince Charming when he was just a frog. Look within yourself, ask yourself, even you ladies who are watching now, the guy that you're dealing with, what's really his intentions? If a man throws tantrums, he's not a man. It's okay for a man to get upset, but you should never get upset in front of a woman. You should never throw tantrums in front of a woman. A woman should never be able to get you out of character. You never put your hands on a woman. You dismiss a woman with your mind. You remove whatever attention you're giving her and you keep it moving. You go on to the next woman. So the dudes that you're dealing with, you know when he isn't ish. But sometimes it's about control, and maybe you felt like you had control initially when he played this little game, this simp game, and now he has you under his control. So at the end of the day, you got a child by a bum. He's not paying. You need to get the state involved at this point, or do it by yourself if you're telling the truth. If he's not paying you child support, you know, and you've tried, you need to get the state involved. And I hate to say that, but, and I'm not a proponent of child support, but you just got some dudes that ain't ish at the end of the day. If he's trying, it's different. So that being said, let's do better. Let's seek advice. Let's not go with the first thing that makes us feel good. But hey, at the end of the day, it's your life. Do you? So with that being said, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let me know what you think about this situation and this topic. What would you do in her situation at this point? I'll be glad to hear it. If you haven't, make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you want to book a one-on-one with yours truly, please feel free to hit me up on Calendly. The link is in the description. Feel free to shoot me an email if you got any questions. Comment below if you have any topics you'd like me to discuss. And check out my new books available on my website. Just released them. The links are in the description as well. And with that being said, peace be upon you and the mercy and blessings of the Almighty. And I will catch you guys on the next one. I am out of here. Peace.